So the last class we constructed event and listener program, and I written 3 programs to you. In these 3 programs, context listener, I want you to add this program part of user app application. Request listener, part of filter 1 application. Session listener, HTTP session application available. You must keep them in 3 different locations and run it. You can see there listener effect anyway. Now, if you take this listener program yesterday, request listener, so I am using at the rate of web listener here, part of web.xml. Here, listener, listener class, test dot request listener. Test dot request listener. Request listener test dot. Here I am removing the annotation. I am removing the annotation. I added one tag known as listener. Spelling correct only, no? Like this. Sometimes changes will not reflect. I'm restarting it once. So right click on it, run as, run on server, click on finish. So listener is working, no? Right. So you can use one tag known as listener, part of web.xml. So finally, today's information is part of web.xml. You can write one tag known as listener. because three things you have to remember: servlet, filter, listener. So servlet related tag, servlet mapping in web.xml, filter related tags, filter mapping, listener means direct listener. So these three tags, do you know or not? They'll ask a question. Yesterday, for easiness, I used at the rate of web filter. Sorry, web listener. It's the easiest one. Even you can write a tag also known as listener. So finally, write like this. Structure of web.xml in servlet programming. Structure of web.xml in servlet programming. Web app. I'm writing the structure. Context PARAM. Context PARAM. Context PARAM. PARAM name. PARAM value down. PARAM value. PARAM value. Today, listener. Listener. Listener class. Listener class. Here filter. Filter name. Filter class. Filter class. INITPARAM. PARAM name. PARAM value. Filter mapping. filter name, filter name, URL pattern, URL pattern, URL pattern. Servlet, Servlet, servlet name, servlet class, so filter, under filter, we add INIT filter mapping, not filter, this is servlet. Servlet name, URL pattern, welcome file list, welcome file. Here's some file name, So this is the web.xml. Totally up to now what you covered. So without your knowledge, you covered these many tags slowly, slowly, slowly. So no need to practice, but you must know what it contains because annotations are playing a role. But even then in interview, what are the tags you've seen from web.xml? One interview question is there. For that, you must say what are the tags you used. Practice once and keep it. They'll ask you to write it because XML will play a role somewhere. It's playing a role. So you people don't know XML, I know, because first three programs I kept only one tag. Slowly I'll introduce servlet filter like this. Slowly, slowly, slowly. What is to be remembered that I introduced. Today also, one listener I introduced. Just giving information, listener is there. That's all. I'm not asking you to write listener tag. Already you're writing at the rate of web listener. Answer is coming. You will be writing annotation, but you must know one tag is there. Somewhere in the coming trainers may use framework trainers. So you must know they are available. This is the structure up to now. Part of web.xml. Without your knowledge, you learned these many components, part of web.xml. So complete. What is the highest priority given? What is the highest priority tag here? Context PRM. Second highest priority is welcome file list. Remaining all based on the requirement. Filter comes filter tag. Listener comes listener tag. Servlet comes servlet tags and so on. But first priority given for your context PRM. If context PRM not there, then it goes to welcome file list. It's a theory. Okay. Now one FAQ question is there for you. Types of listeners. They'll ask one question. Types of listeners. It's a FAQ question only. Types of listeners. Above listeners are categorized into three types generally. Listeners in servlet programming are categorized into three types. Categorized into three types. Application listener, request listener, session listener. Session listener. Right. The listener which is added to servlet context object is known as application listener. Why it is application listener means, you know, servlet context means can be used by all. So they call it as application listener, they'll say. Same way. The listener which is added to servlet request object is known as request listener, request listener. Session listener, the listener which is added to HTTP session is known as session listener. Session listener. Application listener, request listener, session listener. Annotations in servlet programming, one small siding. The tag based information which is added to programming component. The tag based information which is added to programming component. Your programming component means maybe variable. You can add for variable. You can add for method. You can add for class. You can add for interface. The tag based information which is added to programming component is known as annotation. So next trainers will give highest priority for annotations. Next trainers after me. Next trainers will give highest priority for annotations. Very limited information in core Java. If you don't write information also, no problem. Annotation based running not there. But here, annotation based running is there, Servlet. So here at least you must know 3 annotations here. That's all. Next Spring Web Service, whenever you go, the trainers will give more annotation formats to you. The tag based information which is added to programming component is known as annotation. We use @ symbol. We use @ symbol root to represent annotations. We use @ symbol to represent annotations. These annotations will specify the information. These annotations will specify the information to compiler at compilation stage or to execution controller at execution stage. So 2 types annotations will be there. These annotations will specify the information to compiler at compilation stage or to execution control at execution stage. Some will give information to compiler, some will give information to executions. Your advanced Java annotations will give information to executions. Core Java annotations will give informations to compiler. The following are The following are some important annotations in core Java. Annotations in core Java. At the rate of override. At the rate of suppress, warnings. These two are popular generally. At the rate of override, at the rate of override, annotation will specify the compiler to check the method is overriding method or not. Overriding method or not. Right, look here. This at the rate of override will work like this. Suppose in this program, Java resources, here, welcome servlet is there. Here, at the rate of override are not written. Have you seen that? Right. I'll write lower case here. Do post I written lower case. Error will not come. Whenever I run it, error will come. Why means HTTP servlet methods are not abstract. Abstract means mandatory. I written lower case. Without your knowledge, you written do post lower case. So definitely error will come. Suppose I'll add at the rate of override here. Whenever I add at the rate of override, error will come. So who is giving error now? Compiler is giving. Means what? I am asking compiler to check my method overriding or not overriding. If I remove this override, error will go. If I keep this override, error will come. Error will come and say that, see there. This method do post of type welcome servlet must override or implement a super type method. It's giving information. So then you'll cross check the spelling. All of you understood this, what I'm speaking, right? So I can correct it. If I correct this as uppercase, it will go. Means what? I am giving information to compiler to check my method is overriding method or not. That only at the rate of override, specify the compiler to check my method overriding method or not. That is one annotation. Now, suppress warning here. If I remove this, it will show one yellow mark to you. Observe or not? One warning. To remove that such warnings, we'll use at the rate of suppress. In core Java, I said to you, suppress means close. Suppress warnings, close warning. Whatever the warning name you can give here automatically. So second one is at the rate of suppress warnings. At the rate of suppress warnings, annotation will specify the compiler to compiler to close the raised warnings. Whatever the warnings shown by the compiler, we are asking the compiler to close them. That's called suppress warning. Now, these are your core Javas anyway. Make it. The following are some important annotations in servlet programming. The following are some important annotations in servlet programming. 1. At the rate of web servlet, at the rate of web filter, at the rate of web listener. So before writing these notes already used, no? That's the power of learning. And if you use something, when you analyze it, clarity will come. Because of this reason, I stopped servlet life cycle. Now I'll speak. You will understand because many things you've seen and keep. Now I'll speak INIT. You will understand. Now I'll speak destroy. You will understand because you know major flows. What is servlet? Also, one map is there for you already. Understood statement, right? Now you can understand this one. At the rate of web servlet, these are all giving information to execution controls. Okay, right? At the rate of web servlet. Right. At the rate of web servlet will hold URL pattern and used to identify the servlet program. Identify the servlet program for execution. At the rate of web servlet will hold URL pattern and used to identify the servlet program for execution. At the rate of web filter. At the rate of web filter will also hold URL pattern. And used to identify the filter program. Identify the filter program for execution. Web listener. At the rate of web listener is used to identify listener program for execution when event when event occurred on servlet objects, on servlet objects, right? Servlet objects. Look here. So finally, in your Java, and your carrier is full stack Java developer or Java developer, core Java, advanced Java. Here question mark. Right? Okay. Then it is all carrier. Whatever you want, you can select it. So core Java, advanced Java is the basic. So generally the talk in the market is advanced Java not available. No, generally many students will say 40% to 60% students will say advanced Java not available. They'll say, right? Okay. Then still advanced Java not there also. We spend 3.5 months in core Java. 2.5 months we send in core Java. Whatever you do, the time will come. Right? Because for month 24 sessions will come per month. If you count 70 sessions, also 3 months will come. Generally. But even then, the major course is here only. Right? Whenever you take any examination, any company papers you take, they'll ask C language. Yes or no? Na? They'll ask C language. C language mandatory, they'll ask it. Y means logical programming available. They'll ask Java. Java means this one. For logical program with object-oriented programming, they'll ask the questions on advance. Whether you have capability to work here or not, they'll test advance. Because of this reason, you are creating your strong base almost for 5 months. That's the reason. These are all base only. Strong base for 5 months you are developing. Why means already few people attending spring already. So you will be comfortable. Output also I want a good color, sir. You can put a color. Whatever you have UI technologies, all you can write in the servlet programming. But when you write in a servlet programming, you must write in pw.println. There you must write. The code looks very clumsy and very hard also to detect and organize. To overcome that only, they given a JSP to you. Java server page means output coming from your server program. Only one topic is pending, right? So remaining all has been completed. Second, unit number 2, servlet programming means 3 parts. Servlet, filter, listener. These 3 are running with one annotation. That 3 annotations you must know. With that core Java, 2 annotations you must know. These 5 annotations speak for the next trainer. Do you know any annotations in the core and advanced? You say, I worked with 5 annotations, you say. Whatever you worked, you say that only. Remaining all, don't touch and don't be confused. I worked with at the rate of web servlet. I worked with at the rate of web filter. I worked with at the rate of web listener. I worked. Remaining annotations I not worked, you say. Why means just now I said no. They are the basis for the next levels. No need to use all annotations here. In core Java, I used 2 annotations. You can say at the rate of override, at the rate of suppress warnings. Whatever you say, you must explain it. Whatever you say, you must explain it. That's the concept, right? These 3 components and 5 annotations you should remember. It's a point. Now write it. Star mark IMP. Servlet, Servlet collaboration meaning is exchanging the informations. Your management will keep add no collaborated with NASCOM means they internally can exchange the informations. They can exchange the informations. Here, your information, they'll upload it. Their information will come here. When they exchange the information, that is known as collaboration. Servlet collaboration means servlets exchanging the informations. That we call it as servlet collaborations. Already you're doing already. Servlet request dispatcher, servlet to forward, URL rewrite, hidden form field. They are all exchanging the informations only. But specially they'll ask, what is servlet collaboration? Make a statement. The process of interchanging information among servlet programs. The process of interchanging information among servlet programs is known as servlet collaboration, you can say. How many of you registered for NASCOM? Raise your hands. Very less people, remaining all not registered. Collaboration can be performed in two ways. Majorly, we highlight two ways. One is request dispatcher. One is send redirect method. Send redirect method. You know already. Request dispatcher is used for servlet communications. Servlet communications using the following methods. Forward, communication. Include request dispatcher is used to establish communications between servlet programs available in same web application. Request dispatcher is used to establish communications between servlet programs available in same web application. Same web application. Right. This one already you are using. Send redirect specialties like this. Two different web applications I am taking. Web application one I will take. Web application 2 I will take. Two different web applications. I'll take one servlet here. First servlet. I'll take one servlet program here. I'll take one servlet program here. Second servlet. Now this one is running with URL pattern first. This one is running with URL pattern second. In this application, I'll take one input.html. In this application, I'll take one web.xml. So whatever the inputs I am giving, whatever the inputs I am giving, this input is taken by this servlet. But output must come from here. Response must be from here. So request is here. And the response is here. These two are two different web applications. We are linking these two with send redirect method. We are going to connect this. Send redirect method is used to establish communication between servlet programs available in two different web applications. They are not in both in same web application. They are in two different web applications. Make a statement. Send redirect method is used to establish communication between servlet programs available in two different web applications. Send redirect method is used to establish communication between Servlet programs available in two different web applications. Two different web applications. These two different web applications can be executed on same server or different servers. Different servers. Same servers or different servers. These two different web applications can be executed on same server or different servers. Same server or different servers. Application I'll take. A web app 1 I will take. I'll take one more application, that is web app 2. I'll take it. Inside this web app 1, I'll take input.html. I'll take FIRST, first servlet.java, web.xml. Here I'll take second servlet.java. Let us see whether it is working or not. Two different web applications I'll take. Answer must come from second servlet. That's the target. Okay, right. See there. Right. I am taking web application 1. I'll take it. Dynamic web project. Web application 1 I am taking. Add one jar file. Build a path. Here. Under SRC main. Under web app. New. One HTML file. Input.html. This is demo purpose only anyway. Form tag. Action is equal to FIRST, first. Method is equal to post. Type is equal to text. Name is equal to uname. Mail ID. Input. Type is equal to text. Name is equal to MID. Input type is equal to submit. Value is equal to display. Username, mail ID, just two values I'm taking. Okay, right. Once the input.html is ready, go for Java resources, right click, new package, test, right click on test and new and class FIRST, first servlet I'm taking. Always the best way is always writing annotation only. Import java.io, import java x.servlet, import java x.servlet.http, import java x.servlet.annotation at the rate of web servlet of double quotes slash FIRST first. Here extends from HTTP servlet. Here protected void do post HTTP servlet request REQ, HTTP servlet response RES, throws servlet exception, IO exception. Don't write print writer here because just we are checking that send redirect method, we are transferring the data. Here you keep at the rate of override so that any error not there means the spelling is correct. That's the meaning actually. Remove that warning. Here simply we are send redirecting, that's all. How means res dot send redirect. One method is there. Send redirect. This is a method. Whenever you are saying send redirect, what you must write means complete information you must write. Complete information. Before that, before writing this, whatever the data you submitted, the data will be available in the request object. Yes or no? The data is available in the request object. Request. Now collect that data here. String username is equal to REQ dot get parameter of uname. String mail ID. Mail ID is equal to REQ dot get parameter of MID, like this. Now you send here. How will send it now? HTTP colon local host colon 8082 slash. I'm going to send for web app 2. In web app 2, the URL pattern second. Understood this point? All right. So local host means same computer. That's the meaning actually. Port number means same server port number. Suppose that is not available here means say the IP address. That's the meaning of it. Web app 2 means second. In that you're working, you're communicating with one servlet program running on URL pattern second. Now question mark. URL rewrite. Do you remember? Yes or no? Louder. In URL I used one question mark separator. Okay, right. That question mark. I am writing uname is equal to plus uname. Right? Okay. Now double quotes here. Here separator between your parameters is and MID is equal to MID. Now what happened here, sir? Actually, the control will go to web browser. The control will go to web browser actually. Web browser. The control will go to web browser. Here. Whatever I given here, that is pasted in the web browser. Pasted. Here uname will be pasted. Alex. MID will be pasted. A at the rate of, like this will come. It will be pasted like this. It is pasted here. In the web browser, it is pasted. From this web browser, the control will come here. The meaning. This request is post. This request is get. Why sir get? Because URL pattern available here. In the address bar, URL pattern is there no from here. Do you remember the fourth way of raising get? So it will come get request. Whatever the data are coming, the data will be accommodated to here. It's a meaning. All of you understood this? Send redirect method will send the control to web browser. From there, generate the new request and identify the server. It's called send redirect method. Okay, right? Now, write the web.xml here. This is send redirect method. Redirecting the control to another servlet program. Now write web.xml under webinf new other XML web.xml. Web app. Welcome file list. Welcome file. Here input dot HTML. Why error here? Right. Welcome file list, welcome file, and so on. Now construct the second application. Click on file, new, dynamic web project, web app 2. Right click, build path, configure build path, add external jar, Servlet API, open, apply and close. Here, no need to write any input file, no need to write any XML file also, because we are going to identify the servlet with the URL pattern directly with annotation. So here, under Java resources, under SRC, package, test. Right click on test, new and class. So second SERVLET, second servlet. here import java.io, import java x.servlet, import java x.servlet.http, import java x.servlet.annotation at the rate of web servlet. I used second, no, here second. Here extends from HTTP servlet. Here protected void do get HTTP servlet request REQ. HTTP servlet response RES throws servlet exception. Here IO exception. Here you must write print writer because output is coming is equal to res dot get writer, res dot set content type text or HTML. Here, whatever the data you are submitting, this one, uname, MID, they are available here in the request. Here, uname available, MID available. They'll come and available in the request. So that only. Let us collect that names. So string uname is equal to REQ dot get parameter of uname. String mail ID is equal to REQ dot get parameter of MID. So what you used in send redirect, the same thing you must use. Whatever you used in send redirect, the same names you have to use here. Uname and MID. So display it. pw dot println. Second servlet. Output is coming or not, we are going to cross check. Now pw dot println username. pw dot print password, not password. This is mail ID, MID. Now let me cross check at the rate of override. And we are adding one annotation here for it. Now we are going to cross check whether two servlet programs are communicating available in two different web applications or not. So here, while you are executing this program for the first time, first you have to execute web application 2. Why means to make it available in the server. First you have to make example, if you are communicating with Y from X, you must make Y available there. No? Understood this point or not now? Then only X can communicate. Here both you are only running, no? So first you run web application 2, you run it. It will give error anyway, but you run it. That indicates that it is deployed. That's the meaning. See there. First time only once. Right click on web app 2, run as, run on server, click on finish. It gives 404. Because web.xml not there, HTML. Just indicating that that is available is indicating. Now we run your web application 1, you run it. Run as, For the first time only that one. And finish. Okay. Coming now. The program running in one web application, sending the information to Servlet available in another web application. Like this, in your applications, you can send information to any web application. You can send it. Above you executed some web applications, no? You can send information through what now? Send redirect. You have to say the application name and you must say URL pattern and send the information. That program also will be running. That's a concept, right? All of you understood send redirect? Okay. Send redirect, they'll ask a question for you. To introduce that send redirect only, I took this concept as a Servlet collaboration. I took it. So here, this is nothing but URL rewrite process only, actually. I forgot to show that. I'll show it. See that? Second time you run directly. Only first time you must run a web application too. Second time you can run directly. Can you see this address bar? Right. You check in that address bar. The address bar will be displayed. Can you see address bar here? The information will come here. URL rewrite. HTTP localhost 8082 web app 2. Second, username Alex, mail ID. Same thing I written here or not? No. It's URL rewrite process only. Okay, right. So send redirect method, sending the control to web browser. From web browser, the control will come. So concept. Hope you understood. Send redirect, I think. Okay, right. This is one interview question. Because they will not ask direct question. Their intention is two servlets are there in two different web application. Can I establish the communication or not? They'll ask a question. Answer is yes. Using one method known as send redirect method. So if I want to establish communication between two servlets available in the same web application, I can do with request dispatcher. That's the information. Like this, they will ask it. Further, to say that point, I need one name, no? Sometimes they'll ask servlet collaborations. Two servlet can exchange the informations, they can exchange. Point. So this is your syllabus. Now, remaining all conclusions. Now comes your servlet life cycle will come now. In that servlet life cycle, up to now, INIT method I not written. Now I'll write INIT method. Understood now? So if I write INIT method, what happened? If I don't write also what happened, that information I am going to give it. So now comes your servlet life cycle for tomorrow. Star mark IMP, SERVLET, servlet life cycle.